Now on CoastTV News.
Beach access update. As surf conditions improve, what are coastal communities and state parks reporting for swimming and fishing?
Seaford sales shift. The action scheduled to take place tonight that could change marijuana policy in the Sussex County city.
Waking up to temperatures in the 50s and 60s, only a taste of what's to come in the days ahead. An absolutely terrific Tuesday, and then followed by a midweek masterpiece.
Bicycling showdown. Why Ocean City could push back against the state of Maryland policy that allows bikes to ride on sidewalks.
This is CoastTV News Today.
And we continue with our 6 o'clock hour. Good morning, I'm Matt Pensick.
And good morning, I'm Elisa Weber. It is Tuesday, August 26th, 2025.
And this week in August, final week in August, we're starting with some awesome
Thank goodness
conditions.
Chris has good news for us. Last week we were like, Chris, every day it
Every
was
day.
something. But
Chris,
he told
let
us he was working
down.
on the sunshine. Took him a couple days, but Chris, that sunshine you were working on, it is finally here. Thank you.
You're welcome. Good morning, guys, and good morning, Delmarva. Yeah, not much to complain about in the weather department. Yeah, we had the clouds last week, the waves, the rip currents, so we're seeing plenty of clear skies out there this morning. A gorgeous look from Laurel, 58 degrees there. Dew point 57. We're calm as far as the winds go, so that's allowing for temperatures, especially inland, to fall. We're at 61 in Seaford, 55 in Harrington, 58 Redden to 59 Millsboro. Still holding in the lower 70s, 70 in Rehoboth. Will drop maybe a couple degrees, 2 or 3 more degrees here over the next hour there. Wind's pretty calm out of the northwest wind flow. Dew points are in the 50s, so it's very comfortable out there with the passage of that cold front yesterday. That has allowed for cool, drier air to filter in, and it's only going to get even better as high pressure builds in through midweek. So we're in for plenty of sunshine today. Highs right around 80, and then we're looking at highs generally in the upper 70s as we go through Wednesday. And yes, rain chances are going to be hard to find here over the next 7 to 10 days. So we're looking at plenty of sunshine through the afternoon. Highs right around that 80-degree mark as we look at some overnight lows potentially getting into the upper 40s over the next few nights, especially by Thursday morning. We'll talk more about that and that all-important Labor Day forecast a little bit later on. Matt.
All right, thanks, Chris. We are tracking that Labor Day weekend forecast. Our top story this hour is an update on Delmarva's beach access. At last check, a number of communities have dialed back some restrictions. Ocean City is allowing surfing with a leash, bodyboarding, and wading only knee-deep. According to the Delaware Seashore State Park, all surf fishing drive-ons are open. That includes both the Seashore and Fenwick Island State Park. However, Navy Crossing Drive that's at Cape Henlopen State Park, that is still closed.
Happening tonight, the city of Seaford is moving closer to permitting retail adult use marijuana sales. The second reading of an amendment to the Seaford Code on marijuana sales is scheduled during the city council meeting. It was just 2 years ago the city banned marijuana production and sales. Tonight's meeting is at 7 o'clock at the Seaford City Hall.
Yeah, this is a controversial issue, and while the drug is legal in the state, many Delaware communities have banned marijuana. Here's a look at some that have allowed it. Frankfort and Georgetown allow it. You may recall we just did a story about a new dispensary on Route 113. Other dispensaries are already up in Sussex County. In Lewis and Rehoboth Beach, there are dispensaries, but important to note here, those are on the highways. They are not within city limits.
New this morning, the Coast Guard unloaded a record haul of illegal drugs in Florida Monday, $473 million worth of it. The drugs included more than 61,000 pounds of cocaine and 14,000 pounds of marijuana. According to the Coast Guard, that cocaine could supply fatal overdoses to 23 million people, or to put it another way, the entire population of Florida. The drugs came from 19 different interceptions in the eastern Pacific Ocean and Caribbean Sea between June 26th and August 18th.
Yeah, we're now getting a live look at Washington, D.C. The president is ramping up his crackdown on crime, signing a series of executive orders. And after deploying and arming National Guard troops in the nation's capital, President Trump is threatening to do the same in some other cities.
These cities include Chicago and Baltimore. NBC's Alice Barr shows us how the possibility is drawing sharp criticism from state and local officials.
This morning, new signs President Trump's expanding crackdown on crime could mean a growing National Guard presence in more big cities, already armed on the streets of Washington, D.C., with Chicago potentially next in line.
We may or may not. We may just go in and do it, which is probably what we should do. Chicago desperately needs help.
The president signing an executive order tasking his defense secretary with creating specialized National Guard units to be trained and ready to help with domestic law enforcement. Chicago's mayor pointing to a 30% drop in murders, robberies, and shootings from last year, though the city is still averaging more than one killing a day, with 3 homicides and 27 people shot just this weekend.
Our communities need more federal resources for public safety. There's no question about that. But unsolicited, unwarranted military takeover is not needed.
The Illinois governor calling the potential takeover
a dangerous power grab,
and referring to President Trump as a wannabe dictator, the president pushing back.
A lot of people are saying maybe we like a dictator. I don't like a dictator. I'm not a dictator. I'm a man with great common sense.
All as President Trump signed 2 more crime-related executive orders, one threatening to revoke federal funding from states that offer cashless bail, arguing that lets offenders commit more crimes. The second aimed at turning the burning of American flags from a First Amendment-protected act into a crime for inciting a riot. In Washington, Alice Barr, NBC News.
Happening today, Ocean City officials are set to discuss keeping bikes off the sidewalk, and here's the reason. Starting October 1st, the state of Maryland will allow bikes to ride on the sidewalks, but the town is considering its own rule to negate that. According to OC, most of the sidewalks are narrow and too busy. People living in the area are looking for clarity on the issue.
I do think they should be allowed, or better yet, even though there is a designated lane, I feel like, if they had something a little bit more specific just for bikers. So I think the bike lane's for the bus as well, I'm not sure. So that to me, if they just had something specifically for bikes, it would be extremely helpful, I think.
And the council will meet this afternoon at 1 o'clock. An update this morning on the boil water advisory for parts of OC. This is if you live in Ocean City near 120th Street on the Bayside. According to officials, the water main break is now fixed. However, the advisory is still in effect until further notice. This includes all water used for food prep, teeth brushing, ice making, and drinking. According to the city, the water may be used for bathing and washing without boiling.
Ocean View is responding to concerns raised by the ACLU of Delaware. The ACLU is asking the town to repeal a new ordinance on regulating public assemblies. They say it violates First Amendment rights. According to town officials, Ordinance 405, which was adopted in July, sets up a permitting process for public gatherings on town-owned property. The town says the goal is to protect health, safety, and welfare. Now Mayor John Reddington says the ordinance is added to the September council agenda to consider its repeal.
New this morning, today is Women's Equality Day in Delaware. This is a picture from Delaware's first major suffrage parade with 400 women marching through downtown Wilmington. According to the National Park Service, despite these efforts, Delaware's legislature voted against ratifying the 19th Amendment in 1920. It wasn't until March 6, 1923 that Delaware officially added its support, and in 2023 on August 26th, that officially became known as Women's Equality Day in Delaware.
Governor Matt Meyer just signed 11 new bills that claim to improve public health in Delaware. The big one, the Pre-Authorization Act, that's meant to cut down on insurance delays so patients can get care faster. Other new laws target prescription costs, boost mental health services, and protect health care workers. And for an in-depth look at this legislation, you can head to the article on CoastTV.com.
In Maryland, officials are expanding the fight against substance use in the state, this time focusing on rural communities. According to officials, the Rural Advancement for Maryland Peers Program, or RAMP, is a $1.6 million grant program to strengthen the state's peer recovery workforce. According to Governor Moore, the initiative aims to give rural counties the same access to recovery resources as the rest of the state.
Salisbury Police Department is preparing to launch a brand new mobile app. The goal here is to keep people better informed and connected and safe. The app is free to download from both the App Store and Google Play, and police say more details on this will be released soon.
And we're just getting started this morning on Coast TV News today.
Yeah, coming up, Labor Day Dart Service will tell you what's running and what's going away for the season.
Also, park plan problems. We'll tell you why some locals in Dover are against a new potential playground.
But first, storm damage to Delmarva. We'll show you the impacts of Hurricane Erin and how communities are recovering. All that and more as Coast TV News Today continues.
Well, a good Tuesday morning to you, Delmarva. Hope your morning is off to a great start. Partly cloudy skies there in Lewis, 68 degrees there. Dew point 59. Winds are calm, and you can see temperatures away from the coast. We're at 62 Georgetown, 58 in Laurel, and 54 in Harrington. The cold front that came through yesterday has pushed off the eastern seaboard, high pressure building in, and it has been, yes, a cooler than average August. You see all the blues. Those are all below average days. We had that 69 degree there on the 19th. That warm stretch between the 12th and the 17th, but overall we've had 19 below average days, and we're likely going to finish the month below average and begin the month of September on the below average side as we see those temperatures stay below that average high of 85 degrees. 79 in Lewis today, plenty of sunshine along the coast. We're at 80 Dewey Beach to 79 in Ocean City. Moderate risk of rip currents today, so keep that in mind if you're heading to the beach today. We'll talk about low risk of rip currents tomorrow and that beautiful weather continuing through the week coming up.
Thank you, Chris. On your screen right now are images of Chincoteague post-Hurricane Erin. Tons of tire tracks and construction vehicles around as they work to repair the parking lots. Officials say the hope is to have some access available before Labor Day weekend. Beach Road is still closed, but the gate to the Wildlife Loop will remain open to drivers so you can get to Swans Cove. That trail is about half a mile walk, but it leads to the beach. Access will be reassessed once parking at Tom's Cove Beach reopens. Remember that lifeguards are only on duty during weekends this time of year.
Rare case of New World screwworm is confirmed in Maryland. This came from a patient who recently traveled to El Salvador, according to the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services. No information has been released about the patient's condition. The parasite, which was basically eliminated from the U.S. roughly half a century ago, is a larval version of a fly that nests in warm-blooded animals. This gets a little gross here. Slowly eats them alive. Officials say there's no significant threat to the general U.S. population, but it can pose potential problems for some animals and foods.
Losing de minimis could cause maximum problems for companies and online sellers like Amazon Haul, Etsy, and Shopify. The de minimis exemption allows goods that are worth $800 or less to come into the U.S. duty-free. Now the exemption is set to expire on Friday, and this change will likely affect discount retailers and online marketplaces which have U.S. consumers connected to businesses across the globe. Analysts say some companies are expected to pass the higher tariff expenses to the consumer.
The company behind Dr. Pepper, 7-Up, and Keurig Coffee, they're set to split into a soft drinks company and a coffee group. That's according to a joint statement published Monday. Keurig Dr. Pepper will acquire JDE Peet's, whose brands include Kenco and Peet's Coffee. This is an $18 billion deal, and once the transaction is complete, it creates two businesses, a beverage company and a global coffee company.
And I'll tell you what, going with the extra large coffee today. We're seeing plenty of sunshine on Delmarva this afternoon, 80 degrees, and it gets only better in the days ahead. If you like the fall-like temperatures and with your pumpkin spice latte, you're going to like the weather coming up. We'll bring it to you coming up when Coast TV News Today continues.
The time is 6:17, and you're looking live at the quiet scene there along the canal in Lewis. Surf conditions are improving, Chris, and hopefully we get that in time for a safe Labor Day weekend.
That's a good sign, and yeah, we're seeing some seas beginning to calm across the area after dealing with high risk of rip currents here over the last week. We're dealing with a moderate risk, and then we'll have a low risk come tomorrow. Well, temperatures this morning, very nice. Stepping outside the door, we're at 59 in Long Neck, 60 Milton, cool spot there, Harrington 54, and we're at 59 there in Laurel. Winds are pretty calm out of the north, but we've had that northerly wind flow keeping us nice and cool following the passage of that cold front yesterday. Dew points are back in the 50s after we were in the 70s yesterday, and we're going to keep that dry air in play through most of the week. Get a little touch of humidity there into Friday, but overall the theme is going to be dry and comfortable here over the next week. There's the front, well off the coast now. We had high pressure building in through much of the upper plains, and that's going to be pushing off to the east here over the next few days. There you see rain chances very low here over the next 7 days. We're looking at maybe an isolated chance of a shower on Friday. An absolutely terrific day on tap. 79 in Rehoboth, 80 to Georgetown. Highs of 78 in Cambridge, 80 Federalsburg, 81 Salisbury to 82 Pocomoke City. Plenty of sunshine throughout the afternoon today. Tonight, even cooler than where we were at today. Overnight lows dipping in the low to mid 50s away from the coast. Plenty of sunshine through our Wednesday. Cooler upper 70s, and then the coolest morning looks like Thursday. Some areas west of the coast, maybe western Sussex, western Kent, could see some upper 40s, and then by the afternoon we warm up to around 80 degrees with that southerly wind flow continuing. But then a cold front pushes through late Thursday into Friday. So there's the setup really through midweek. High pressure building right over the area, keeping us nice and cool. And there's those temperatures along the coast. Chicontee to Assateague, 77 there on Wednesday. Looking at highs around 75 Wednesday in Ocean City, Wednesday to Thursday. Fenwick Island coming in at 78. And then as we make our way up to Lewis, 78 Wednesday to 80 on Thursday. There's the front pushing through. Not a whole lot of moisture with this front, but could see an isolated shower or storm as we push into your Friday. We're at 80 today, 57 for your overnight, and 78 into our Wednesday with wall-to-wall sunshine. And then those morning lows by Thursday, 53 there. Georgetown could see some upper 40s, maybe western Sussex. Could see an isolated shower Friday, and looking really nice for the holiday weekend with highs in the upper 70s.
All right, thank you, Chris. A potential pop-up park that may come to Dover, that's drawing some mixed reactions from neighbors. We heard from people in Dover that the area has a number of safety issues, while some others say the city needs more spaces for children.
My opinion is we don't need playground equipment at either park. There's enough parks locally that people can utilize.
Well, the development is going young again. It was young when we first moved in, and then it aged out. And we are getting a lot more kids, and I think we need it because the kids need someplace to go.
And Dover officials say alternative sites such as Mayfair Park are also under consideration. The survey on the park remains open until August 30th. Responses will help the city decide on next steps.
Up next on Coast TV News today, Labor Day Dart Service will tell you what you need to know about operations for the holiday. Coast TV News today. This just in, an update on DART services for Labor Day. According to the agency, Paratransit will operate ADA-only service. There will also be certain routes available for Newcastle County. DART's beach bus routes and 305 Beach Connection will also run, but it's the final day of service for both seasonal options. And another day of low humidity is quite the treat in late August.
Yeah, this is still August, right?
It is, yes. This is like the dog days of summer, too.
I know. Wow,
yeah.
What a nice way to end the month with some nice conditions at our beaches, Chris.
Oh, yeah, and we've been getting treated well after that week we had last week with all the clouds and the rough surf and the tidal flooding. Seeing partly cloudy skies there in Rehoboth, and a beautiful morning to take a walk on the beach there. 69 degrees there, dew point 54, so that cool, drier air is in place. We do have a moderate risk of rip currents. Lewis, Rehoboth, down through Dewey, Bethany Beach. Wave heights anywhere between about 2 to 3 feet. Then as we make our way Fenwick Island, Ocean City through Assateague, again, moderate risk of rip currents. Make sure you swim to those lifeguards. Plenty of sunshine today. 64 to start in Fenwick Island. Temperatures in the upper 70s as we make our way up through Rehoboth and Lewis. Plenty of sunshine through the afternoon. Highs right around 80 there with that moderate risk of rip currents, and temperatures generally in the mid to upper 70s along the bay as well. Cambridge looking very nice this afternoon with a light northwest wind at about 5 to 10 miles an hour. You get your forecast anytime by dialing that First Alert weather phone, sponsored by Broxton and Dallas Federico. Your 7-day forecast coming up in the next half hour. Elisa.
Thank you, Chris. And after the break on Coast TV News today, Seaford weighs in on weed. We'll tell you when the city is set to discuss regulations for the now illegal drug in Delaware.
Also, OC looks to ban bikes on sidewalks, that is. We'll tell you how a new Maryland law is sparking possible action in the town.
And Eastern Shore on immigration, Maryland Senator Angela Alsobrooks visited our coast to express concerns in Wycomico County. We'll tell you how the county executive says it will interact with ICE. Coast TV News today. We'll be right back.
Now on Coast TV News.
Deportation drama, the latest in the case of Kilmar Abrego Garcia, and the reaction from Maryland officials on the Eastern Shore.
Bike battle in OC, how the town could be at odds with the state of Maryland over bicycling on sidewalks.
Waking up to temperatures in the 50s and 60s, only a taste of what's to come in the days ahead. An absolutely terrific Tuesday, and then followed by a midweek masterpiece.
Marijuana moves, what Seaford could do tonight that would change the city's policy on the drug.
This is Coast TV News Today.
August 26, 2025. Good morning, everybody. I'm Matt Pensick. Good morning, Elisa.
Good morning, Matt. Good morning. I'm Elisa Weber. Thank you for joining us.
It's 6:28. Labor Day weekend is in sight.
Yeah.
We see it out there, and we're tracking conditions that could lead to a great weekend.
It'll be a great weekend to be outside and to grill. Do you have any special plans for grilling?
Well, yes, because
Yes.
it's college football Saturday, first game,
Yes.
so there'll be the at-home tailgate
Well,
underway.
Chris's weather shows it's going to be beautiful for that, so I think you were nice to Chris. He gave you good weather for
I'm
that.
always nice to Chris.
Yeah, he is. Me and Matt, Penn State pals there. We got a big weekend coming up. Plenty of sunshine. We're going to be in store today. We're seeing sunrise here in Laurel. Beautiful skies there. 59 degrees there. 57-degree dew point, and the winds are pretty calm across much of the peninsula. 54 there in Harrington. We're at 59, Milford, 60, Milton, a little milder at the coast, 69 in Rehoboth to 70 in Bethany Beach. There's that wind flow out of the north, but pretty calm. Seeing some winds up to 9 miles an hour there all on the coast, but dew points at a good level are in the 50s. And that's all thanks to one of the components of that is that cold front that pushed through yesterday, but you can see pretty quiet throughout much of the Ohio River Valley as well as the Midwest. High pressure is going to be building in and keeping us sunny and dry here over the next few days. We do still have that moderate risk of rip currents today, so keep that in mind. And we're looking very nice, a little taste of autumn to round out the month of August here on Delmarva. Temperatures are going to be in the upper 70s to right around 80 degrees from Lewis, Rehoboth to Dewey, again with that moderate risk of rip currents today. Coming up, we'll talk about the rest of the week. Could see some overnight lows in the upper 50s come Thursday morning. We'll talk more about that coming up in the full 7-day forecast. Elisa.
Thank you, Chris. Our top story this half hour, Kilmar Abrego Garcia was taken into ICE custody Monday morning.
The Maryland construction worker was deported to a notorious prison in El Salvador in March. He was returned to the U.S. in June to face human smuggling charges. He reunited with his family last week after his release from federal custody on parole on Friday.
According to his lawyer, Abrego Garcia was taken into ICE custody after an immigration check-in that was a part of his parole. The Trump administration announced over the weekend its intention to deport him to Uganda. The alleged 30-year-old is a damage to the community and an MS-13 gang member.
And this issue is sparking conversations across the Eastern Shore. On Monday, U.S. Senator Angela Also-Brooks visited Wicomico County. The senator there touched on the arrest of Pastor Daniel S. Fuentes Espinal in Talbot County in Easton, who's now home. She also talked about the Wicomico County's intent to enter the 287G program, which would allow local law enforcement to work with ICE through the county jail. Also, Brooks says Wicomico County should proceed with caution, while County Executive Julie Giordano spoke on the efforts of her office.
We have a profound obligation to respect the humanity and the rights, the due process rights of people, of every person who's present in our communities.
One of my reasons of supporting it is that if we say, hey, we're standing with ICE and we understand, that they have a job to do as well, but this is how we want to do it in our county, and we hope that they would respect the local jurisdiction. And
Giordano says no agreement will finalize anytime soon. She confirmed that local law enforcement will not patrol the streets with ICE.
Happening today, Ocean City officials are set to discuss keeping bikes off the sidewalk, and here's the reason. Starting October 1st, the state of Maryland will allow bikes to ride on the sidewalks, but the town of Ocean City is considering its own rule to negate that. According to the agenda, most of the sidewalks are narrow and too busy. The council will meet this afternoon at 1 o'clock.
Have an update this morning on the boil water advisory for parts of Ocean City. This is if you live in the town near 120th Street on the Bayside. According to officials, the water main break there now fixed. However, the advisory is still in effect until further notice, and this includes all water used for food prep, teeth brushing, ice making, and drinking. Again, this is until further notice. According to Ocean City, you can use the water for bathing and washing without boiling.
Happening tonight, the city of Seaford is moving closer to permitting retail adult use marijuana sales. The second reading of an amendment to Seaford Code on marijuana sales is scheduled during the city council meeting. It was just 2 years ago the city banned marijuana production and sales. Tonight's meeting is at 7 o'clock at the Seaford City Hall.
An update on Delmarva's beach access. At last check, a number of communities have dialed back some restrictions. Ocean City is allowing surfing with a leash, bodyboarding and wading only knee-deep. According to the Delaware Seashore State Park, all surf fishing drive-ons are now open, and this includes both Delaware Seashore and Fenwick Island State Park. However, Navy Crossing drive-on, that's at Cape Henlopen State Park, that is still closed.
The President of the United States is firing a Federal Reserve governor for the first time in the Fed's 111-year history. At least he's trying to. Lisa Cook says she's going to keep doing the job until the courts decide if her termination is legal.
As Amy Kiley shows us, it's too early to assess the full impact of the president's move.
When executives start to try and meddle with central bank independence, that comes at real cost.
Experts say President Donald Trump's unprecedented attempt to fire a Federal Reserve governor could affect average Americans. Lisa Cook's termination is likely to end up in court. Trump can only fire a Fed board member for cause, and Cook faces no legal charges. In a letter, he claims she, quote, may have made false statements on one or more mortgage agreements.
She and Jay Powell are holding the economy hostage by not cutting rates.
If Cook's seat becomes vacant, Trump can nominate her replacement. He's pressuring board members to cut interest rates beyond what they think is good for the economy. If he succeeds, the Fed would have less control over inflation.
If you have a job, if you have money saved, if you have children, any kind of commitment to this country doing well in the future, this should be of concern.
Investors do seem concerned based on overnight drops in stock futures and the U.S. dollar index. Those reflect retirement accounts and spending power. Beyond economics, analysts also see impacts from Trump's broader campaign to punish perceived enemies.
There's going to be many other people that he's going after as well, but I love it.
Critics say they're worried about how far he'll go.
What is the threat now to the average American?
I'm Amy Kiley reporting.
Governor Matt Meyer signed 11 new bills that claim to improve public health in Delaware. The big one is the Pre-Authorization Act. This is meant to cut down on insurance delays so patients can get care faster. Other new laws target prescription costs, boost mental health services, and protect healthcare workers.
We are now taking a live look at Washington, D.C. The president is ramping up his crackdown on crime, signing a series of executive orders. And new this morning, the move could mean a growing National Guard presence in more big cities. There are already troops armed on the streets of Washington, D.C. The president signing an executive order Monday, tasking his defense secretary with creating a specialized National Guard unit to be trained and ready to help with domestic law enforcement. Chicago is potentially next in line. Chicago's mayor pointing to a 30% drop in murders, robberies, and shootings from last year, though the city is still averaging more than one killing a day, with 3 homicides and 27 people shot just this weekend.
Our communities need more federal resources for public safety. There's no question about that. But unsolicited, unwarranted military takeover is not needed.
We may or may not. We may just go in and do it, which is probably what we should do. Chicago desperately needs help.
Other executive orders include threatening to revoke federal funding from states that offer cashless bail and turning the burning of an American flag into a crime.
We have a lot more news to get to in this final half hour. Don't go anywhere.
Coming up, Renovation Review will show you the progress at Milford Middle School as construction is coming to an end.
Also, winning record on the line. After a rough start to the season, the Orioles are playing better, the latest in the effort to get over 500 for the month of August.
And Give Blood, Get a Brew will tell you how the Blood Bank of Delmarva is encouraging you to give blood during this blood emergency. Stay with us on CoastTV News today.
Good Tuesday morning, Delmarva, taking a live look into Dover, crystal clear blue skies there, and temperature 64 there, dew point 51, so very dry air is moving into the peninsula, and you can see temperatures are falling 57 in Redden, 54 Harrington to 58 in Laurel. We're at 67 Rehoboth to 70 in Bethany Beach. So the front that pushed through yesterday well off the coast, and so far this year we've had 29 90-degree days. Last year we only had 27, so that's usually the average for here in Georgetown. And then the latest 90-degree day we saw on record was October 9th of 2007. So there's more room for more heat to build into the area, but not today. 77 along the coast, 80 inland through the eastern shore. An absolutely gorgeous afternoon, and it's going to get even better and better here over the days ahead. We'll talk more about that coming up in the full 7-day forecast. Elisa.
Thank you, Chris. Happening today, the Blood Bank of Delmarva is continuing its Blood for a Brew campaign with blood drives at breweries and coffee shops across the region. The Blood Bank says summer is typically a hard time for blood collection due to school breaks and vacations. This week, there are some upcoming drives where donors can help save lives while enjoying a local brew or coffee. Today, Dogfish Head Brewery will hold a drive from noon to 6. On Wednesday, also at Dogfish, that will be from 10 a.m. to 5 o'clock. And on Friday, you can donate blood at Crooked Hammock in Lewis from noon to 5 o'clock.
The president of the Delaware Botanic Gardens at Pepper Creek said the board of directors has approved a 3-year strategic plan. Botanic Gardens in Dagsboro has welcomed over 40,000 visitors since 2019, and their focus of this plan is to increase attendance through first-class experiences, brand awareness, and financial sustainability. And they say all are welcome to enjoy the 37 acres of nature they maintain in Dagsboro.
Delmarva Sports Network from the Wawa Studios.
Good morning, everyone. Plenty of action on the diamond on Monday. Let's break it all down for you in a little early morning sports spread. The Boston Red Sox came to town for a series with the O's. Tomoyuki Sagano on the mound. He's been pitching well of late. The O's have won 5 straight when he starts. Well, Roman Anthony, he's not trying to hear any of that. He leads this ball game off with a solo shot, his 6th of the year, and the Sox lead it 1-0 early. Then, a couple batters later, let's flash some leather. Jarren Duran at the plate sends a ball into left field. Dylan Carlson charging and makes the sliding grab. Take another look at this play. Carlson taking away a surefire base hit from the speedy Duran. We go to the bottom of the second now. Colton Cowser, he's going to answer right back. A solo shot of his own ties the game at 1, his 12th of the year. But Cowser, yeah, he's just getting started, because in the very next inning, up at the plate with the bases loaded, and he's going to shoot a line drive into center field. 2 runs come around to score. Cowser went 3 for 4 on the night. But let's head to the top of the 5th. Duran back at the dish, 2 on, 1 out, and Duran, yeah, he's sending one out of the park. He blasts a homer to dead center to put the Red Sox ahead, and ahead for good, 4-3, and that would be your final score. The Sox take the opener in Baltimore. That'll do it for sports. Thanks for tuning in, and have a great day.
And coming up tonight on DSM, we got a bunch of previews for you. Football kicks off at 8, followed by field hockey at 9, and then it's soccer at 9:30, volleyball at 10, and you can catch the final score at 10:30.
It's time for some entertainment news now. Here's David Daniel with today's Hollywood Minute.
It's time.
The sing-along version of the smash hit K-pop Demon Hunters is now streaming. Plenty of people didn't wait for it to reach Netflix. A theatrical version reportedly sold out more than 1,000 screens on Saturday and Sunday, making it the #1 movie at the weekend box office. Guillermo del Toro has a new gig. The American Film Institute has named the Oscar-winning filmmaker guest artistic director for its AFI Fest, October 22nd through the 26th in Hollywood. The festival's opening night film, Springsteen, Deliver Me From Nowhere, starring Jeremy Allen White as the boss.
There's no doubt about it.
Jennifer Lopez also has an upcoming honor. The performer is set to receive the Virtuoso Award at the SCAD Savannah Film Festival, November 1st at the Savannah College of Art and Design. She'll be lauded for her career, including her upcoming role in Kiss of the Spider-Woman, opening in theaters October 10th. In Hollywood, I'm David Daniel.
If you're having a rough week, you can cheer up with a weekly dose of local good news from CoastTV with personal features, fun things to do each weekend, and more. You can sign up right now for free at coasttv.com and get your weekly dose of joy directly to your inbox on Friday. And here's what you can look forward to this afternoon on Coast Life at 4.
Hey Coast Life fans, we have a great show coming for you today at 4 o'clock. You're not going to want to miss it. We're chatting a new trend in boyfriends, why the black cat is on the rise and the golden retriever may be fading a little bit. Plus, we're going to have a great debate, and I'm sure everybody will have an opinion on this one. The best movie soundtracks of all time. Leah and I getting into a little bit of a tussle on that. And it's more back to school coverage. We know the kids are getting ready to go back. You won't want to miss the discussions we have for you.
Well, if you're able to get to the beach today, it's going to be a gorgeous one, 76 to 80 along the coast. Keep in mind, though, we do still have a moderate risk of rip currents with those wave heights at 2 to 3 feet. We'll talk about gorgeous weather continuing in the days ahead. My full 7-day forecast is up next.
The time is now 6:47 and we are taking a live look outside at Laurel this morning, and we have a beautiful sunrise. Chris, that is always a great sign. You said you were working hard for us last week to get that sunshine, and Chris, you are a man of your word.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that. Yeah, not much to complain about here in the weather department. A nice, comfortable start stepping outside the door this morning, especially away from the coast. We're in the 50s, 59 Long Neck to 62 Georgetown, 60 Bridgeville, 58 in Laurel, the cool spot there. Harrington coming in at 54. Winds are pretty calm for most of the area, but we continue to see that northerly wind flow helping to push those dew points down into the lower 50s. So the cool, dry air is really going to be with us for the next extended period of time. We see a little touch of humidity there through Friday, but overall staying comfortable and dry is going to be the theme here over the next week. There's the front well off the coast now. That pushed through yesterday, and high pressure building in here, and all this is pushing to the east. It's going to keep us nice and sunny and dry here over the next few days. There's rain chances, not a whole lot here. We could see an isolated shower or storm Friday with the passage of another front. Highs today, 80 Georgetown, 80 Millsboro, 80 to Seaford, C79 in Cambridge, 80 Vienna. Highs today in 81 in Salisbury, 82 Pocomoke City. So plenty of clear skies through the afternoon today. Could see a few clouds, partly cloudy skies through the evening, but another cool, crisp night falling into the mid-50s. By Wednesday, we're in the upper 70s under mostly sunny skies. And then Wednesday night and Thursday, that looks like our coolest morning, where we could dip upper 40s, lower 50s, eastern shore, western portions of the county. And we're looking at plenty of clear skies through the afternoon as well. And then the front pushes through late Thursday through Friday. But until then, we have high pressure in play, virtually moving right over the mid-Atlantic, keeping us nice and dry. 79 Wednesday through Assateague, temperatures generally in the around 80 degrees Thursday through Friday. Fenwick Island, 78 Wednesday to 78 on Thursday. And then as we make our way up through Lewis, 78 on Wednesday, 80 degrees as we go into Thursday. So the front pushes through late Thursday through Friday. Could spawn an isolated shower. I think will be primarily sunny and dry in the Friday. And with that, sunshine is really going to continue through the weekend. We're at 80 today. 57 overnight with that fall chill in the air. 78 for our Wednesday under wall-to-wall sunshine. And that sunshine continues into Thursday. Late Thursday through Friday, we have the front coming through. Not a whole lot of moisture. Could see an isolated shower, but we are looking plenty of sunny and dry through the start of the holiday weekend. Matt.
All right, thank you, Chris. The new and improved Milford Middle School, it's just about ready to welcome students this year, and final touches in the construction process are still happening.
But CoastTV photojournalist Matt Hipsman got a sneak peek inside the renovated historic building.
I would say probably 15 years ago or so, the Milford School District began looking at options because we are a growing community. And one of those options was to build a brand new school, start to finish, here on this campus. And the community were very clear that they still felt very emotionally connected to the original portions of the schools.
It has such a past, it has such a history in the community. Many of your Milford citizens went to high school here. Others went through it when it was a middle school. It was even partially an elementary school, Lakeview Elementary, for a while.
We've seen some significant growth in the last 5 years here with the addition of a lot of developments and things being built around the community just outside of town and things of that nature.
Our middle school and intermediate and secondary population has risen and rises about 100 students a year, which is a lot.
Right now, we're anticipating just over 500 students when we open on September the 2nd. The school will basically be occupied with the exception of the third floor of the original building. And so that space will be reserved for our future growth. And the capacity of the building is 1,000 students. So we still have the ability to fit close to an additional 300 students into the school as our community continues to grow.
The time is now 6:51, and we're going to check in with our coastal pet of the day.
Check this one out. Today's coastal pet of the day actually could be one of the Golden Girls on your screen. That is Blanche. Blanche is a 6-year-old rescue, clearly has a favorite show. Blanche was submitted to us by her family in Salisbury.
And we want to see more of your pets on Delmarva. Send us photos and tell us what makes them so special. You can take a look at your screen.
That's where the QR code is, top center. Scan that, get your furry friends or other friends to us, and then watch weekdays from 5 to 7 a.m. to see all the pets we feature.
It is 6:54, and it's time for the things you need to know before you go. Governor Matt Meyer just signed 11 new bills to improve public health in Delaware. The big one, Pre-Authorization Act, is meant to cut down on insurance delays so patients can get care faster. Other new laws target prescription costs, boost mental health services, and protect healthcare workers.
Check out some of the images that we have here from Chicoutimi. This is post-Hurricane Aaron. Lots of tire tracks and construction vehicles around as they work to repair the parking lot. Officials say they hope is to have some access available before Labor Day weekend. Beach Road's still closed, but the gate to the Wildlife Loop, that remains open to drivers so you can get to Swans Cove. The access reassessment will take place once parking at the Tom's Cove Beach reopens. And remember that lifeguards are only on duty during weekends this time of year.
Keeping bikes off the sidewalk, that's the Ocean City goal, and they will discuss that today. Here's the reason. Starting October 1st, the state of Maryland will allow bikes to ride on sidewalks, but the town of Ocean City is considering its own rule to negate that. According to the agenda, most of the sidewalks are narrow and too busy.
A potential pop-up park that may come to Dover. It's drawing some mixed reaction from neighbors. We heard from people in Dover that the area has a number of safety issues. Some others say the city needs more spaces for children. A survey on the park remains open until August 30th, and responses will help city officials decide on next steps.
All right, it is 6:56. We're going to take another look at our beautiful forecast.
It is beautiful.
Yes.
Let's have a terrific Tuesday, Chris.
Oh, we certainly are. We have some good running weather for Elisa. We have some good kayaking weather for Matt. We have a little bit of everything to go around for everybody today. Temperatures starting off in the upper 50s, and look, we're going to get to right around 80 degrees this afternoon under mostly sunny skies, looking pretty nice there. We're 78 for our Wednesday. By Thursday morning, dipping into the lower 50s, maybe even a few upper 40s could be on the horizon for some of us on the peninsula. 80 by Thursday. Could see an isolated shower Friday, but we are looking pretty nice here as we stroll into Labor Day weekend. And then we're looking at temperatures bouncing right back up to the lower 80s by the time the debut of the NFL season rolls around.
That sounds great, Chris. Thank you, and thank you for joining us here for Coast TV News today.
And the Today Show is coming up next at 7 a.m.
Then we'll be back for Coast TV News midday at 11.
And for even more news and coverage you can count on, download our Coast TV news and weather apps. Weather apps are great ones, especially with this great weather that we have hour by hour. Just check out how wonderful the lack of humidity is today, so you can get that in your stores. Till we see you for Coast TV News midday at 11, have a great Tuesday morning, everybody.